Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart. It's a model which is made in 1/72 scale, and as you can see here we have the so-called StuH 42 Ausf.G. It's an early production version from May-June 1943, but still in 1/72 scale it will not take a lot of space, and that's why I decided to take a closer look. And this is completely fresh release, so it's kit number 72114, and it's also the final shape of this release, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff if you order it, for example, from Modelimex. That's what you will be getting. So first of all, I would say the box design and the box size kind of mimics to what we saw in the previous 1/72 scale releases. So here is comparison with my hand, and also on the side here you'll find some information about the manufacturer, about safety devices, and on the opposite side you can see 4 marking options which are included here, but we will talk more about them because they are printed as marking guides in the assembly manual. So as you saw, it's a top opening box. We have all of the frames sealed into one bag, and assembly manual should be on the bottom. In the meantime, I will try to open the plastic bag, and I can remind you that you can find the reviews of the previous versions of this kit on the same YouTube channel which you are watching at the moment, and I really recommend them. I even assembled one of the previous releases, and it was a really great experience because the kit goes together nicely, and the final result is really good looking as well. And it looks, I mean, it's clearly visible that Miniart used the modern technologies in order to design this kit, not just downscaled their big StuH, which is also available, by the way. Okay, so first of all, here we have the small envelope with Miniart logo. It is usually used for PE parts, and today's kit is not, I would say, different from this rule, and I will show it in a second. Here you can see it. Let's zoom in. So here we have mainly the shirts and panels. This is the external armor, but we also have some minor bits as well. And just to remind you about the size, here is comparison with my fingertips. So these are really tiny parts for 1/72 scale armor vehicle. So definitely be ready to work with tweezers, because otherwise it will be nearly impossible to get them into the right spot. Next we start with the first gray plastic sprue. So here I have to zoom out a bit, because here, as you can see, we have the parts for the external features mainly. I'm reminding you again that we are dealing here with the kit without any interior, but it's still quite nicely detailed outside, so you can see it with your own eyes with help of this parts count. Next, we continue with 2 identical plastic sprues. So these ones are dedicated to the drivetrain. So just like any German military vehicle, this one has sophisticated drivetrain, and you have to deal with it. But thanks to Miniart, molding quality should be quite fine. And we even have some pre-molded features on the tire walls, on those rubber sections on the wheels, which is quite, I would say, showing what you can achieve with the modern technologies, with the modern day machines. And this is really cool. I mean, if you look into it in person, and I really recommend to, it's something really impressive. Here we continue with the lower hull section parts. So these are separate panels, and as you can see, they are molded together with these suspension arms, and of course their positioning is pre-shaped, so you won't be able to change much. And if I flip it over here from the opposite side, you can see some pin marks, but they are easily removable. I had the same on my sample as well, I mean the kit which I was building, so it's nothing serious and it's not visible on the finished model. Next we have the plastic tracks. So in 1/72 scale, it sounds like a lot of fun, so be ready to work with them. And as you can see, we have length of the tracks as well, so you will be able to speed it up a bit, but there is still some time involved into the assembly, so be ready for this. But in my opinion, the final result is absolutely worth it, so do not hurry and you will get really good looking tracks on your small vehicle. Here we continue with the side shelves. So again, nicely looking details from both sides, by the way, and the only thing required from you is the careful weathering, because well, you can bring out more features with help of the washes and some dust applied there. The same can be said about this engine bay panel, and also here you can see the main gun. So as you can see, everything looks nice, but well, the final appearance will also rely on your weathering skills. Next we have the last gray plastic sprue. It's also one of the biggest here, so I will just zoom out. And you can see here that we have the various hull parts, superstructure parts, as well as the muzzle brakes here. We have the separate hatches here, but again, I remind you that there is nothing inside, so nothing to open and show inside. And the only use I can see, maybe for some dioramas of the abandoned vehicle, or maybe to place some figurine inside. But surprisingly, Miniart still do not have any 1/72 scale figurines, so who knows, maybe we'll see them in upcoming releases. Okay, so let's move this gray plastic sprue to the side, because next we continue with the decal sheet. So here I zoom in and you can see this really tiny decal sheet with the cartograph decals, so you shouldn't be worried about any printing quality issues. And the same can be said about this clear sprue, because usually Miniart is quite good with the transparent parts, but there are no masks included, so in case you would like to have a nice paintwork, you will have to do it with your own hands and tools. Next, we continue with the assembly manual. So for this, I'm closing the lenses because it will be quite bright. And it's a color printed brochure. As you can see, it's not big because the box wasn't big either. And we have the short list of the features. Small reminder that there are 4 marking options, and here you can see the first 2. Next, we continue with parts map and assembly process, which starts with the lower hull section. Then we have on the next page here, you can see also the P parts being used for the engine bay, and also the tracks assembly. So even though the tracks parts count or links count is written here, in some cases I had to adjust it a bit, let's say it in this way, so definitely pay attention to how the parts will be fitting together. And next we continue here with more parts being used for the superstructure. Then we assemble also the rear engine bay area, and here we have the separate hatches and also the main gun assembly here, machine gun here. We can also open or close hatches. And then we continue with the towing cable. For the towing cable you have to use your own metal wire, so keep it in mind. And for the shorten, as you remember, those are PE parts being installed onto the plastic holder brackets. Here we have the ad for another version which I reviewed previously, third marking option here, and the 4th marking option here. I would say the camouflages are somewhat classic for German military vehicles, but this is something what you expect from such type of the vehicle. And as for the whole kit, I think it's a really great opportunity to build it in a small scale, and it should be already available. You can get it for a decent price on Modelimex, and of course I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.